Live from Sports and Social, we've got college scores and stats all afternoon on the college football voice of the South, The Fan, 680 and 93.7 FM.
Welcome back in to College Game Day here on The Fan, 680, 93.7 FM, live from Sports and Social here in the Battery, Atlanta. You can give us a call, 404-231-1680, and feel free to talk about Georgia taking on Auburn on the road, Georgia Tech at home to take on Virginia Tech. We take a quick look at the Georgia United Credit Union scoreboard, and you look across the top 25 landscape. A couple of big games, Los, but not anything earth-shattering. You got Michigan and Michigan State. App State in town to take on Georgia State, see if they can climb up the top 25 rankings. Clemson at home against Wake Forest. Now, this is interesting because this is going to be good and bad for the ACC. Clemson ranked number 3. They're 10-0. Wake Forest, good season. They're 7-2. If Clemson whoops on these guys, it only solidifies there's just one team in the ACC.
That is the second best team in the ACC.
Yes.
And if they put them down by 35-40, ooh.
And then Clemson can't play close because they're going to get hammered for not beating a team in the ACC by a ton of points, or else that might cost them the college football playoff. So I don't know how this is going to shake out for the ACC when Clemson goes to 11-0. There's something going on at Flowery Branch, and it is one of the strangest things I've seen in the NFL. The NFL
today
is very regimented, very structured, very deliberate about what they do. They don't waste any time. Everything is with a purpose, from the combine to what you're going to get on draft night. Everything, OTAs, preseason is very structured and well thought out and planned. Well, we get word this week that Colin Kaepernick is going to get a workout for teams. We weren't sure how many. The number last I saw reported up to 24 teams that are going to be at Flowery Branch at the Falcons facility in a private workout to watch Colin Kaepernick work out. They're going to take his measurables, have him run, have him make some throws, and then check on his viability or suitability to be on a team, I don't know, the end of this year, the start of next year, whatever. But it is a bit strange that week 11 of the NFL season, this comes out of nowhere. And I say nowhere because I was reading Clark Hunt, a man who owns a football team, owner of the Kansas City Chiefs, said he didn't know anything about it.
This is the part that I am fascinated in because, just as you said, the structure by which this happened was out of nowhere. What I guess I find fascinating, like I had my father-in-law is in town, and he goes, hey, did you see how he structured a workout? Does his agent do that? And I was like, no. I was like, in fact, the league just seemed to throw this together and tell Colin Kaepernick, here's where you're working out, here's what's going on.
You have 2 hours to decide, or else it's all over.
And so it's so strange, and I wonder, is this part of some settlement agreement? Is this part of, and this is where I think more of the emphasis is, I think there are a number of teams that are in such a bad way from a quarterback standpoint that they've realized maybe enough time has passed where this thing has calmed down and I need some help, but I can't afford to just bring him into my facility. And I think there's enough teams out there that might have reached out to the league in that way, and the league said, fine, we'll be the ones who handle this. Everybody gets a chance to look at the tape, figure it out from there.
My conspiracy theory is this is a way for everybody to get cover. That, to your point, maybe there was some groundswell or a couple of teams inquired, and this provides the perfect cover for everybody.
Yeah.
If you don't want Colin Kaepernick back in the league and he's not a great quarterback in your opinion, it provides you cover to say he got a shot, then he can go somewhere and shut his mouth. If you are a fan of Colin Kaepernick and thinks he got a raw deal, here's your opportunity to give your cover. He got a shot. At least this man won't be sitting 10 years from now saying, would I have gotten a chance to show what I could do while I still had skill set left? It gives the NFL cover in that you can't say we didn't give him an opportunity. We put it together for all teams to show up to get a look at this guy. We got your facility. It gives the teams cover. If one team or two teams really want him, then they don't have to take the PR hit of bringing him in. They go and sit in a room or in the barn that we call the indoor facility with the other teams to get a look, and it gives Kaepernick cover because you can either come under these circumstances or not. But if you do, there's your opportunity, and now you got a chance to prove that you can play. I think it is a way to provide everybody with a little security for a feeling in a situation that has been a PR problem for the NFL.
There are guys that can play in this league that, for whatever reason, they have done things that hurt their opportunity to play in this league. I bring up a guy like Antonio Callaway, who just got released by the Browns.
Yeah.
He was the most explosive player in the SEC. He just loved marijuana more. Now, I don't know what he got his 10-game suspension for this time around, but that's a kid who couldn't even make it through training camp without being pulled over and drugs in the car. Kaepernick's a different deal in that if we're just talking about 64 quarterbacks, most teams have 2, some of them are carrying 3. He is one of the top 75 guys in the world playing this position. The problem is that the business end of the deal is something that drags along with him. And some of these teams just go, from a backup, from a third string,
PR is going to be a
PR.
issue.
That's
yes.
what it comes down to. And so I think a lot of people want to be able to get this cover to just go, where are you at now? What are you feeling now? Do you feel like you've done enough in the community? Do you feel like you've solidified your message as, I am going to be active in these things, but I don't need the NFL field to do it? Because I think that gives him an opportunity.
My question from the logistics is, where could he go?
Yeah.
I only think there are a couple of teams where his style of play would fit in perfectly. And, there are teams that are teetering or in playoff contention. I don't think bad teams are going to be looking at him. I'm looking at somebody like Baltimore for next year.
That's his former OC that makes a ton of sense.
If you played for a guy before, they run a similar style to what you ran the last time we played, and you'd be backing up Lamar Jackson, they're going to be trying to go to a Super Bowl and go to the playoffs next year. If something happens to Lamar Jackson, why wouldn't Colin Kaepernick be there?
This is insurance to me. That's what he represents. If you're, I know Dallas was one of the first ones that like, oh yeah, we're sending somebody, and everyone's like, oh my God, that is so Dallas of a move. If you see yourself as a serious contender for the playoffs, then you realize that you're an injury to your quarterback away from having to play somebody who cannot help you. Cooper Rush is the backup in Dallas. Nice player. He's a developmental player. He isn't a guy who's been to the playoffs with a multitude of times or taken his team to a Super Bowl. And so, yeah, Baltimore, I'm one weird hit away from having Lamar Jackson miss a couple of weeks. I need some of this kind of protection. I would look at him just like that. He is insurance for what I want to do.
I want to do this. I might have to wait. Could you imagine if he came here? Could you imagine what would be going on Sports Talk Radio if he came here? If he was backing up Matt Ryan.
It'd be so difficult for this fan base. This is a fan base that still to this day.
I was going to wait, Los. I couldn't hold it anymore.
Still to this day, we'll tell you about what was it? Okay. In a different life, Home Team and I did an entire bit called the Mike Vick Radio Filter. And the whole bit was that you hear guys in sports talk say something, but you only filter it to hear what you want to hear. And so the idea was that one of them was like he wears a rag. He's probably in a gang. I bet he's one of the Bloods.
That's the team color.
And then what was it? He's a beautiful black prince of a man, and I'm sure he's at church every Sunday. But it was all filtered into that.
He's 3 of 13 to start the game.
Matt Ryan can go win an MVP into a segment of this thing. It's like, trash, noodle arm, trash.
Well,
trash. We need Mike back.
I'm going to save that for later in the show because it just crossed my mind what if. But I think there are only a couple of teams. The whole strangeness of this, it just seems like it doesn't make sense. That NFL
weird.
Owners didn't know. It's week 11. It's in Atlanta. Everybody is invited. Coaches and GMs can't come.
Because they're traveling.
Yeah, they have games they're trying to win tomorrow. So it's just very strange. And you just have to wonder if it is a legitimate look at a guy or a PR stunt for ulterior motives that we don't yet know.
So weird. You're right. The timing of it is what makes you just have the question mark over your head.
When we get back, UGA may have some allies and some good friends inside of the College Football Playoff Committee, and we'll explain why. Coming up next, he is Carlos Medina. I'm Home Team. This is College Game Day live from Sports and Social here in the Battery, Atlanta on the Fan, 680, 93.7 FM.
Sports and social inside live.
Now I'm gonna have to go dig up that bit.
Game day headquarters.
Dude,
the
Fans
Mike
College
Big Radio
Game Day Show
filter.
will be broadcasted
third
live
game
at
of
Sports
the
and
year
Social every
at home.
Saturday. And all
And it was
season you can
facetious,
register for a
and she did
conference
it on
championship
purpose. Our
experience
fan,
that includes
one
a
of the girls
pregame
is
meal at
said,
Sports
"Put
and
in
Social,
Vic."
transportation at 680 The Fan's tailgate party, and 2 tickets to the championship game at the Benz on December 7th.
Oh, boy.
Look,
We're
here we
also
go.
giving away a VIP table at Sports and
That
Social
was gonna be
for the
by
conference
team.
championship game with a
That's gonna be by team
$2,000
at 1 o'clock.
tab.
There's
Just go
one
to
team I know you.
680thefan.com/championship
The
to
second
register
Matt
to
Ryan,
win. Saturdays
you know,
are for Sports and
It's
Social.
down 10 or it's
Oh, yeah.
3 for 12. It's going to be put in cap
TRICARE
teams. Oh, boy.
beneficiaries here in the metro Atlanta area. Kaiser Permanente. Experience healthcare simplified with 800 plus providers at 25 local medical facilities. Great care is more convenient for you and your family. See your doctor, get labs, and visit the pharmacy, all under one roof. Hear from Steve Giller, U.S. Army veteran and Kaiser Permanente employee, on the level of care Kaiser Permanente members can look forward to.
When a TRICARE beneficiary walks into a Kaiser
Lordy.
Permanente facility, it's going to feel very much like home to them. All of our services are under one roof.
thank
We're
you
really
very
going
much.
to be there to hold their hand, to shepherd them, to guide them, and really provide them with a level of service that they have not seen before in Atlanta.
You and